Nobody told me that it would be this hard, yeah. Nobody told me that I would come this far. Being on my chest like I know. Sometimes you just gotta let it go. When I say I'ma let you take all the control. Cause if not you, then who is gonna be? I'm the one standing in need. I need your help to help me carry on. Cause I know right now I won't do it alone. Yeah, yeah. Troubles don't last for too long. I'ma let him bless me, I'm too strong. All I gotta do is just carry on. I know this is temporary, life's too short, my heart feels heavy. I know all I gotta do is carry on. Way I'm living's not necessary. I know freedom is worth the ferry. I know that it's gonna take me somewhere far.
Shalom, family. Barak Yahuah for you. Abba deserves all the esteem, all the glory, all the honor for giving us another day, another privilege to be able to fellowship with one another and to examine ourselves. The title of this message is Overcoming You. Overcoming You. You, children of the Most High Yah, were called by him out of darkness and into his marvelous light. Arise and shine, for your light has come, and the esteem of Yahuwah has risen upon you. For look, darkness covers the earth, and darkness clouds the peoples. But Yahuwah arises over you, and his esteem is seen upon you. And the Gentiles shall come to your light, and sovereigns to the brightness of your rising. Lift up your eyes all around and see. All of them have gathered. They have come to you. Your sons come from afar, and your daughters are supported on the side. Then you shall see and be bright, and your heart shall throb and swell, for the wealth of the sea is turned to you. The riches of the Gentiles come to you. Hallelujah. Before we begin, let us just lift up this session in Palal and ask Abba that he will be with us in this moment. Abba, we come before you and we give you thanks for the privilege you've given us to be able to gather together. Thank you, Abba, for another opportunity to wake up, to be able to examine ourselves and to choose your path, to choose your righteousness, to choose you as our master, Abba. And today we declare that we choose you. We choose you above every other, above any other, Father. May your will be done in our lives. Lead us and guide us and do with us according to your desire. In the name of Yahushua HaMashiach, so be it and be it so. Thank you so much, everyone, for coming and joining with me today. I wasn't so sure that Abba was going to give me something to share, but he did, and it's titled Overcoming You. Abba has already called us out of darkness. He's called us out of this world. He's awakened us in the land of our captivity. He's removed the scales from our eyes, and now we can see. Now we know who we are. Now we're able to walk in freedom. But there seems to be a problem because some of us are still struggling, apart from what the nations are doing to us, apart from what we are encountering in this world every day, apart from the oppression, the systemic oppression, the politics, the societal oppression that we are facing. There's still something that is keeping us oppressed. And I had to examine myself and, of course, observe a lot of our people to say, Abba, what is it that's going on with us? Because a lot of us, you've delivered us out of things. Your word says that if we choose to serve you with all of our heart, all of our mind, all of our soul, then we will no longer be the tail, we will be the head. And I believe in your promises. I believe every word that you say, that you are able to bring us out of poverty. You are able to bring us out of sickness. You're able to bring us out of disappointments, repeated disappointments. So why does it feel like some of us are still burdened and still oppressed? And so the Most High showed me that we haven't overcome ourselves. We are keeping ourselves oppressed. Apart from our own people keeping our own people oppressed, you as an individual is keeping yourself oppressed. And I was like, whoa, what does that mean? Like, how am I keeping myself oppressed? We are still walking in depression. We're still walking in anxiety. We're still walking in laziness and anger and unforgiveness and procrastination and resentment and frustrations, addictions, etc. There's a lot of things that we're still walking in, a lot of things that we are bound to. And the question is, why is that? Why are we still bound to these things? And of course, there are like traumatic experiences that keep us bound. There's a lot of traumatic situations that keep replaying in our minds and a lot of things that oppress us, but we still haven't overcome ourselves. We haven't overcome ourselves. We are our biggest haters. We are our biggest slave masters. You as an individual, you are a slave master over yourself. We have been conditioned to, in some type of way, kind of still be attracted to slavery. We don't like it when we see it. So there's this new kind, and it's the slavery of the mind and the slavery of the self. This week, as I engaged in the challenge of, the 40-day challenge, I have been using Sister Amana's journal, by Reason and Revelation, Volume 1, Expose the Lie, right? And when I first started reading, I was just like, expose the lie. Expose the lie, what does that mean? Okay, I say to myself all the time, we are renewing our minds daily. This is what we're doing daily. We are walking in freedom. We are walking in righteousness daily. We are showing ourselves grace and mercy and compassion daily. But then it's just like, no, we cannot deceive ourselves. In actuality, is it true that we are consciously renewing our mind? Are we doing this daily? Like when we first wake up in the morning, are we saying, Abba, today I choose you. Today I will walk in righteousness. Today I will take captive all the thoughts that have oppressed me, that have bound me, that dictated me the day before. And if we're being honest, the answer is no. We're not. We're really not. We don't do it. The thing that we do, though, however, is when we are faced with a problem or we're faced with some kind of a situation that we don't like, then then that's in that moment, in that instant that we say, okay, I choose to be angry. I choose to walk in righteousness. Almost, I'm going to say 99.5.7.2%, we choose to go the route of the flesh and then we repent later. That's usually what we do. If we're being honest, because honesty goes a long way for our liberation. For us to be free, we have to be honest with ourselves. Do we wake up every day and say, today I am renewing my mind. I am walking in newness of life. I am walking in righteousness. I will take captive every single thought that will come my way. What I did yesterday, I won't do today. What I did to my brother in the week, I won't do tomorrow. We don't do it. We wait for the situation to arise, and then we make a life or death last minute decision. And because we're caught off guard, we always fall for the flesh. We always do. And we become slaves of ourselves again. And to be honest, it's the easiest thing to do. It's the most rational thing for us to do. Because one thing we have to understand is that as individuals, we have to really walk with self-awareness constantly, especially individuals who say that we choose Yah and we love Yah. We have to be intentional with everything that we do. When we are intentional, we don't We don't have the kinds of problems that we, have all the time. We just don't, because Yah is constantly at the forefront of our mind. Constantly. Abba Yah is really good. Just like a woman in an abusive relationship with a man does not know she's in an abusive relationship with the man, we don't understand that we are in an abusive relationship with ourselves. How many of us know that we abuse ourselves? And when we say abuse ourselves, I don't mean sexually, and I don't mean in a perverted way, but literally we kind of keep ourselves in bondage. There's a Dr. Jekyll, Mr. Hyde situation going on with us. There's a fleshly us going on, and then there's a fleshly me. There's a fleshly Anelia, and then there's a spiritual Anelia going on, and then the spiritual me is fighting with the physical me. But a lot of times, because there's no renewing of the mind, the physical me always kind of overtakes it. And this is something that is very true. And the other thing with us is we are a people where, and this is humankind in general, we listen, and then once we don't hear it anymore, out of sight, out of mind. We don't bring it to our memory again. We don't bring it to our memory anymore. We go back to what we were doing before. And then when the shame comes upon us, we feel it heavy. But we don't have to go through that. That's slavery. When you go back to the same thing again and again and again and again and again and again and again, and you don't have a way out, you're in bondage. That is bondage. It's bondage. It's bondage for us. And we have to make sure that we have to say to ourselves, I'm not a slave no more. So why do I still want to be a master over myself? Why do I want to be a slave master over myself? Our Aki did a very good lesson today, or a message today. Choosing a master. We cannot have two. And while some of us, we don't choose money, some of us, we don't choose gold, we don't choose silver, we don't choose lust, but we choose our emotions to master over us, then we allow Yah to. And that is the truth of the matter. And we go to Yah and say, well, I'm just a human. I'm just a man. I'm just on menopause. I just got my menstrual. Or if it's a guy, Abba Yah, it's just that I'm a man. We men got ego, using a real baritone voice when we want to tell Yah why we do the things that we do, why we enslave ourselves. So just like a woman who is in a relationship with an abusive man, and she doesn't realize she's in an abusive relationship with the abusive man, we don't know we're in an abusive relationship with ourselves. We beat ourselves up a lot. We mistreat ourselves. And just like a woman who hates being abused or hates being in a toxic relationship, but she still runs towards toxicity because that's what's familiar. We do that all the time. We run towards the toxicity. We run towards the danger instead of running away from it. Even though we know that we don't like feeling that way, but choosing anything different is strange to us. It's foreign. It's not normal. So we run towards our old selves. We let our minds be master over us. We let our minds be master over us instead of Hamashiach. And this is a big problem for us. This is the reason why a lot of us are still dealing with depression, with anxiety, with sadness, with frustrations, and on an extreme level, because there's a healthy level of sadness. There really is. There is a healthy level of being sad. There is a healthy level of feeling alone. But we don't have to live like that. It doesn't have to be our lifestyle. It literally doesn't have to be a tug of war with us. It really doesn't. Like, I remember, I'll just give a little story. I remember when I was a little girl, I was abused. Abba Yah has given me the boldness to be able to talk about this abuse because when you can't talk about certain things, then you still are enslaved to the trauma. All praises to the Most High Yah that he has taken this wound and turned it into a story for me, into a power for me, into something that I can say has formed my identity into having compassion and loving my neighbor and wanting to do good and not wanting to mistreat anybody. But when I was younger, I was abused. I used to be, when I was younger, before being abused, I used to be very bold. I was confident. Wherever the grown-ups was, that's where I wanted to be, listening to grown-ups talk, listening to their wisdom. That's what I always used to do. And I would always have my 2 cents to put in because I wanted to hear what they had to say. I wanted to understand. I wanted to be able to reason and logic. And I just never wanted to be around kids. I always wanted to be around the grown folks. And I was always told, get out of grown folks' business. But it wasn't that I wanted to be nosy. It's just that they sounded so mature when they would talk, and I wanted to be that way. And whenever somebody would say something that didn't make sense, I was able to reason, and I was able to say, well, you can't do this, you can't do that, because that doesn't make any sense. And people would like to talk to me. And when I was abused, that part of me, I have to say, literally died. It got buried. And I became fearful of people. I became very fearful of people. I became afraid of talking to people. I became afraid of talking with people. I became afraid of defending myself. I became everything except what the way Abba Yahuah had initially created me to be. My personality completely changed. And what would happen was, when I would want to say no, I couldn't say no anymore. When I used to be able to say no, I would say no just fine. But then being abused and being mistreated and being beaten and being forced to do things that I didn't want to do caused me to be, kind of reclusive and a coward. Because when I said no, nobody listened. They went past me anyway. So I figured that saying no, I had no power in saying no, because my no would be trampled by force. So what happened to me was I built anxiety. I started to have a lot of anxiety. I had a lot of anxiety even up until I still have anxiety. I have a lot of anxiety. Even now, I have a lot of anxiety. I get anxious, and I have to force myself sometimes to be like, no, I'm not doing this. I don't want to do this. I don't want to do that. And the way that I had to push through the anxiety is through anger, because I realized that me passively saying, no, I'm not going to say, I can't say no kindly and be respected. So what would happen is it was fight or flight for me. I would have anxiety. I would get really anxious, and then I'd get so anxious and I didn't know what to do. Then I would get angry, and then me being angry was the strength that I had, that I needed for me to be like, I said no, I'm not doing this. And then that was what made people afraid of me, because the anxiety had to come in. And then when the anxiety came in, the anger came in. When the anger came in, I had power. And then I was able to control the situation. But my problem was I couldn't stand being angry. And being anxious and having anxiety does not feel good. It really doesn't. For anybody who's suffered anxiety, it really does not feel good. I would get anxiety walking into a room and I see a whole bunch of mess, and I would start not being able to breathe because it's too messy. And then because I can't do anything about the situation, the anxiety would overcome me, and then I would get angry instead of being able to reason my way and say, what can I do to make me not feel this way? Oh, I know. I just have to clean it up, or I just have to talk calmly. But I couldn't do it because my rationality wasn't there. And I was a slave to my trauma, and I was a slave to my emotions. And this is a problem. This is a huge problem for us as a people, because a lot of us still struggle with this. And instead of us being able to reason our way out of situations, and instead of us stopping, thinking, and then making a decision, or stopping, thinking, and then having a reaction, what we do is we get mad, or we get defensive, or we get angry, or we feel panic, or we feel hurt, or we feel fear, or we feel like fighting, or we feel attacked. But what I want to say to you is, don't let yourself be a slave master over yourself. Because it's easy to do that. It's easy to be a slave to your emotions, even when you don't want to be. It's kind of like a woman, again, and I just keep using it because it's so common in our community, who has been with men who are bad. And then what we do is we still run towards the men who are bad, like who have character flaws that are abusive. We run to that instead of saying, when I was in the relationship with that kind of a man before, I didn't like it. It was terrible for me. It was draining. It was depressing for me. But we run to the same kinds of people because going to what's familiar to us is safety for us. Because anything else that is foreign feels like danger, or it feels like we don't have control. But the one thing we gotta understand is that we can't be in control of every situation. But what we can do is take captive our thoughts, and we can relinquish our power to the one who has the ultimate power, which is the Most High Yah. You know, we don't like being alone, but we prefer to be alone, because to get out of our comfort zone, it causes us too much anxiety. It causes us too much fear. Some of us, we really want to have friends. Like for me, growing up, because I had a lot of trauma, I didn't want to have friends because I was just like, I'm just too faithful of a friend. When I say I'm going to be somebody's friend, you can believe me, I'm your friend for life. I am your friend. But I had met too many people in my life who betrayed me, who weren't faithful to me, who weren't loyal to me, who didn't respect our relationship as friends. And I was like, if I have a friend, the Most High Yah has to bring that person to me. The Most High Yah has to bring that person to me, because I know if I have a friend, our secrets is going to be between me and you. You know, you get off the phone, I forgot, I got Alzheimer's. You know, I always say that. You call me, you say something to me, once we're done, I don't have memory no more. It's gone. You know, it's Alzheimer's syndrome, it's dementia. I don't know what you said, you know. But because of trauma, we kind of enslave ourselves more. We don't allow ourselves to receive the barakas that the Most High Yah has for us. We keep ourselves enslaved. We want to have a friend, but because of our trauma, sometimes we see somebody come, but we can't trust them, and we say, I can't have this person as my friend because they've done too much wrong. People have done too much wrong to me. This person might be trying to set me up, trying to get some information. I might trust them, and then they might betray me, and it's another hurt experience that I receive again, or that I go through again. Or we say, you know, I don't want to be alone, but, you know, meeting people gives me too much stress. Meeting people gives me too much anxiety. Seeing new faces kind of makes me have a little bit of a panic attack. But the thing is, when we go back into our shell, we can't overcome. We became a slave to that kind of fear. We become a slave to isolation. We become a slave to what we don't want. We don't want to be alone, but we choose to be alone because we don't know how to push through what we're feeling in the moment. We don't have reason. We don't talk to ourselves. We don't talk to ourselves and push through trauma. We don't talk to ourselves and say, if I push through this anxiety, I can overcome it. But what we do is we go into a pit again, and we keep ourselves there as prisoners. We are slave masters. We have done more harm to ourselves than anybody else could do to us, really. We harm ourselves more than anybody else does. And it's mental slavery. It's a problem that's in our midst. You know, We don't like to address matters quickly because we don't want people to think that we're troublemakers, or that we just love drama, or that we just or that we just what do you call it, our there's a word, I can't remember it, instigators. Like, we just love trouble, we just love problems. But if we train ourselves to say, let's address this matter quickly, so then that feeling of, they are thinking something about me, they're treating something about me, planning something against me, they think this about me. Instead of letting thoughts come and overcome us, we don't. We go into a hole, we go into a ditch, we go into a pit, we go into a corner, isolate ourselves, and then we let thoughts overtake us and we become slaves again. We don't want that in our midst. We don't want that in our lives. All of this ties up overcoming each other. Sis Malka did a really good lesson the other day about friendship. And the reason why a lot of us can't have friendships is because we haven't overcome ourselves. A lot of times we're our own problem. We are our own restrictors. We are our own friend blockers. We are our own spiritual advancers. We are our own cripplers. We cripple ourselves because some of us are too sensitive and we become a slave to our emotions. Some of us are too fearful. We become a slave to our fear. We are too arrogant, so then people don't want to mess with us. We are too cocky, so people don't want to do nothing with us. We are our own hindrances. You, me, me as an individual, you as an individual, we stop ourselves from being able to receive the barakas, the blessings that the Most High Yah has for us. Take this instance, woman in marriages. Anybody's married, or even in a relationship where you have a boyfriend or a fiance, something that females just love to do. Females just love to do this. There's really not a problem. Like, it's something very simple, but females like to escalate things 0 to 100 real quick for no reason at all. We just bring it up a notch because for us, our flesh thrives on that. Our flesh is hungry to feel some kind of adrenaline in being mad. And if you say it's not true, then you need a whooping because it's true. We, as females, we look for things to make us get an adrenaline, and drama does it for us. Any kind of drama does it. Men, they need something that makes them feel masculine, to make them have an adrenaline. They got men over here. And driving fast makes them feel like a man. Another man looking at them in the mirror saying, "I got muscles and biceps." And then they do the same thing and they're just like, yeah, that, going to the gym makes them feel tough. Make them feel like they're somebody big. And for us, it's who can get mad the fastest. That's what we do. It's who gets mad the fastest, who gets angrier more, who is able to be angry the longest, who's able to have a straight face, who's able to be to not see somebody for so long. Like, I used to call myself the angry queen. I'm telling you, when I was mad, I could have somebody right next to me and I could not see you. You could be talking to me and it's as if you were not there. I know how to act like you are invisible, like no tomorrow. Like, if I ever got arrested for a crime, that would be my crime. Like, if Abba Yahuah had to arrest me, it would be for that reason, for treating people invisible. Because if you crossed me and you did something to me, you was invisible. You didn't exist. I don't see you. You could be over here talking to me and whatever, and I'm eating away watching my movie, laughing, and walking right past you. You're standing in front of the door, and that's the only door I need to get out of, and I could still make it out and not see you. But that's a crime. And that's slavery. It's a problem. And we do this to ourselves because if we're being honest, we don't like it, because after we do this, we become angrier than we were before. We become more upset than we were before, and we get more depressed than we were before. And that is slavery. That is bondage. Those are chains. But even though we don't like feeling that way, at all, what we do is we yearn for that. We want that. And it's not the spirit man that wants it. It's the flesh that wants that. What we actually want is peace. But we just don't know how to embrace it, because systemic oppression, family oppression, relational oppression, monetary oppression, sisterhood oppression, brotherhood oppression, marital oppression has caused us to like drama. It has caused us to be lured and attracted to negativity more than positive things. But we don't have to be that way. We don't have to do that. We don't have to. We really don't. You know, we have to examine ourselves and examine our hearts and ask ourselves, why is it that I do that which I do not want to do, but that which I want to do, it is so hard? Man, I can't tell you how many times I don't want to get mad, or I didn't want to get mad, and I'm over here having a conversation. Don't be mad, don't be mad, don't be mad, don't be mad. When he comes in or when she comes in, I'm going to answer this way. And I practice. Yes? Anelia, yes? Yes? Yes, did you call me? And then that person comes up to me, and I'm just like, what? Like my voice goes 2 octaves lower. And it's like, you know, you have those kinds of conversations with yourself, and it's like, like it's beast mode, and you don't want to be that way, because I'm spending 25 minutes over here saying, I'm going to say yes in a nice way. I'm going to say yes in a nice way. I'm not going to be mad. I'm going to be nice. I'm going to be sweet. I'm going to talk in a very nice tone. Oh, okay. That person's coming. Okay. Yes. Hey, you, what you want? Like, you know, like it's just, and it's something like that happens like this. It happens so quick because you're over here spending so much time saying, I'm not going to allow myself to get angry. I'm not going to allow myself to react a certain way. But the problem is the slavery. We want to be able to be in control of ourselves. We love being the slave master. We love being the slave master. We don't like nobody being master over us, but we like being master over ourselves. The flesh wants to tell us what to do, and we are slaves to it. We are slaves to ourselves. But if Abba Yahuah has said that he has called us out of darkness, arise and shine, for your light has come. Why can't we be free? Because we don't hate slavery enough. That's why. We don't hate slavery enough. We still want a master over us. We look at ourselves in the mirror and we say, I'm a boss. You know, that's what we say, I'm a boss. But no, what you is you is a master. You was a master over yourself. That's what you is, a master. And that's what we need to stop being. That's what we need to stop doing. Being masters over ourselves. And say, Abba Yahuah, take control. And when Abba takes control, then we can overcome our faults. We can overcome our problems. We can overcome every single time that we get mad, and we can reason within ourselves. We can stop and say, if I do this, then I will bring dishonor upon my own head, and I will fall into the hands of Yah, and I will dishonor him. But if I do this thing in righteousness, if I react this way, then Abba will lift me up, and this attribute that is in me, I can walk over it. I can walk over that chaos. I can walk on the water. Just like Kepha did, I can walk over the chaos. But if you don't, you're going to drown in the chaos. And that's why we're over here in corners crying, I don't know why my husband doesn't love me. I don't know why there can't be peace. And sometimes I'm like, girl, you're the problem. I don't know. I don't know why I can't have a friend. I don't know why I can't have a girlfriend. I want to have a best friend so bad, but because you're a problem. You're toxic. You got anger problems. You like being mad. You know, like that song, you want to argue. You can't argue with me. You mad. You know, like we want to turn into Plies so bad and be ghetto fabulous and be ratchet and be holy at the same time. But you can't do all of that. We have to walk with Yah. And we have to not want to be master over ourselves. And the best way to not be master over ourselves is to relinquish authority. Relinquish the masterhood. Relinquish the masterhood. Your life is not a plantation. We're out of the physical plantations, you know. We're not in slavery no more where we got chains on our legs, chains in our hands, chains on our neck, chains over our mouths. But we still are slaves to ourselves. We still want to be on a plantation because we want to be control over everything. And you can only be control over everything if you got somebody to be control over. And since you can't control certain people, what you do is you let your flesh control you and you become a slave again. And you can never be free. And that's why we're always fighting. And that's why we're always mad. And that's why we're always not able to reconcile with one another. That's why we're able to hold offenses. That's why we're able to walk in rebellion. That's why it's always me. Because a massa sees himself. A massa tries to acquire for himself more power. And what we do is we want to acquire more power so we can validate ourselves. But what you do when you try to validate yourself is you bring yourself much lower. And you're going to get a big whooping from the Most High Yah. Because you're saying that your way is better than his way. So how do we overcome this masterhood, this plantation that we've placed ourselves on? How do we overcome ourselves? It is so easy. It is so easy. It's literally to stop and reason within ourselves. Literally, that's all it is. Stop and reason within yourself. That's what our ancestors did. When the Most High Yah says to be slow to speech, to be slow in our reactions, this is not some kind of parable. This is not some kind of a thing that is so far-fetched that we cannot do. It's not something that is impossible. It's not something that is, unreachable, unattainable. It's not a foreign thing. It's something we can do. You literally can just literally stop and be like, if I do this thing, then it will cause this and this and this and this. If I don't do this thing, then it will do this and this and this and this. If I have my friend and I don't talk to her today and tell her what she did to me so that I can be free, then what's going to happen is I will go to bed. I will be angry and my heart will hate her. I won't hate her because I love her. My Ruach loves her, but my heart will deceive me and will cause me to hate her. So it is better for me to call my friend on the phone and say, sis, the way you spoke to me yesterday, it kind of hurt my feelings. I don't like the way you spoke to me. And I just wanted to let you know, maybe I was being sensitive, but it hurt me. And your friend can say, sis, I'm so sorry. I was in a bad mood yesterday and I was just talking all types of way. Oh, girl, yeah, you're right. I'm so sorry that I took it the wrong way. I know that you love me. And I'm sorry that I made you feel like I didn't mean to take my anger out on you. So simple. So simple. But we want to stay on plantations and go, you want to argue. You can't argue with me. Like we want to turn it to hip hop rap battles and R&B like we want to do all of that. We don't got to do that. We don't have to do all of that. You don't have to have a husband or a wife or a girlfriend or a boyfriend or a fiance. And the first thing you want to do is give them the silent treatment. All females do this. All females do this. The silent treatment. And we want to say, well, it's just because I want to cool down first. Girl, if you don't sit down, you know what you're doing is letting it mellow so you can get angrier. And then when you go and fight, you got some weapon on you because you mad. Because if we're not mad enough, then we can't fight. So we got to make sure we get mad enough so we can fight. You want to get mad enough so you can fight. So that's what the enemy is coming in to do. Get you to go in a little corner. I just don't feel like talking right now. I just don't want to talk right now because I'm just upset. You go in that little corner and then it goes, turning into Dragon Ball Z. Like getting angrier and angrier and angrier. And you just want to start throwing fireballs and consuming people, turn into Hulk Hogan, all a naked chest and everything with a whole bunch of hairs on. You want to buck up like a whole man instead of just say, reason within myself. Reason within myself. Relax yourself. Get it out now before you get too mad and you turn into a whole man. Like we gotta do better as a people, and it is possible. It's not impossible. It's not impossible. It's possible. It's not impossible. It's possible. Sis Malaka said something funny the other day. She said, like, it makes me laugh. She said, like, sometimes I be getting mad and I get I grow a goatee and I got a white beater on. I'm just like, that's everybody. Like, we want to turn into Vegeta and Goku having a fight off. Like, we don't need to do all of that. We don't need to do all of that. We don't need to be slaves. We don't need to be on a plantation no more. We can be free. We can walk in freedom. We can walk in liberty and the renewing of the mind. But what we have to do is talk to ourselves. Talk to yourself. Stop. You don't think when Joseph was in Egypt, was in Misraim, and that woman was trying to seduce him, do you really think that he was over here saying, nah, man, I'm gonna be holy? No, he did not. He did not. He reasoned within himself. This woman looks fine. She is sexy. She looks good. But I cannot sin against the Most High. Stop making it look like people was over here walking in white linen and perfect all the time. What our people did before was reason within themselves and made a choice to choose the higher way out to the esteem of the Father. They didn't walk perfect. They chose to walk in perfection. They chose what they would do that day to revere the Father. That is what they did. But we don't do that. Really, we don't. Today, we have every kind of excuse and say, I'm just a man. Abba, I'm just a man. I'm just a woman. I got feelings. Abba, you know that I got 100 emotions going on through my mind right now. You're merciful. It's that same Christianity logic going on again. It's that same Christianity ideology going in again, where it's we got grace so we can do whatever we want to do. We got grace so we can do whatever we want to do. No, grace is not a license to have an excuse for every ill will and every ill behavior and every bad thing we do and every wrong decision we make. Grace is to cover us. Grace is to bring us in where we were supposed to be destroyed. Talk to yourself. When you have a problem, talk to yourself. Go talk to your brother. Go talk to your sister. And when the enemy is whispering lies into you, when he's saying your husband doesn't love you, your wife doesn't love you, your kids are this type of way, it would have been better for you to not have kids. It would be better for you to stop doing this ministry. It would be better for you to stop talking. Then you say, shut up. Sit down. Humble yourself. I'm going to do what the Most High Yah told me to do. I'm going to talk to who I have to talk to. And you be quiet, flesh. You be quiet, flesh. Because the Most High Yah gave me power and authority over you. That's why I have the righteousness of HaMashiach covering me. Talk to yourself. You won't be crazy. I promise you. You're not going to be schizophrenic. I promise you. You're not going to be on no medicational pills. I promise you. Because we have to talk to ourselves. Talk sense to yourself. Talk sense to yourself. Talk righteousness to yourself. Do what you got to do. Talk to yourself. I want to stay in bed today. I just feel so depressed. Get up. Get up. Get up. Get up. Get up. Even if you got to say get up for 1 hour while you're suffering with depression on a bed, get up. I promise you, by the 100th time you say get up, your flesh will be overcome. Get up. Get up. Get out of that bed. Get out of that bed. Stop being lazy. Stop being lazy. Stop being lazy. Abba, you said you would give me strength. Get out of my bed. Get out of my bed. Stop calling myself ugly. You are beautiful. You are fearfully made. Speak to yourself. Speak to yourself. You want to get mad at your brother. He is your brother. Do not be angry with your brother. Do not sleep while the sun, with anger. Do not let the sun go down on you. I'm too shy to talk to people. Call your sisters on the phone. Girl, I don't know why I'm calling you. I never spoke to you one day in my life, but I needed to talk to somebody, and I had to talk to myself, to talk to myself, to talk to myself, to tell myself to pick up that phone and call you. And so I'm calling you, so talk to me, please. Say something good to me. Talk. Open your mouth. Because what? Life and death is in the power of the tongue. Reason within yourself. Reason. Use your mouth. Use your tongue to reason and give yourself freedom. Speak to yourself. And shut the mouth of the slave master. It is so important. There is so much that we can do, Yasharel. Abba Yah is working in us. We know who we are, but we can't stop there. Because knowing who you are can do nothing for you if you're not walking it out, if you're not living it out, if you're not renewing your mind, if you don't get off that plantation. Because some of us, we still like slavery. But if you don't want to be a slave no more, there was a meme a few years ago, there's I'm not trying to make fun, but there was a meme a few years ago and it goes, I ain't gays no more. I've been delivered, So I catch myself saying to me, I ain't a slave no more. I've been delivered. You got to say that to yourself. I ain't a slave no more. I ain't on a plantation no more. I'm not gonna be in bondage no more. I've been delivered. You got to say that to yourself. You got to shake yourself out of the mental bondage that we're in. And we're able to do it because Abba Yah has given us the ability. Sometimes you're just like, I'm going to talk smooth. Somebody said something to you. And you want to answer very calmly. And you want to answer in a very sweet tone. But that a lot of us, when we get mad, we feel fire in our chest. Our chest gets hot. Our chest gets warm. For me, when I get upset, I feel it in my chest. My chest gets warm and I'm pacing and I'm just like, I'm going to not say this because if I say it, it's not going to sound good. But then I have to speak to myself and I have to say, are you a child of Yah? Or are you still on a plantation? So I ain't a slave no more. So I say, can I talk to you a minute? What I would have said before is, shut your mouth. I don't want to hear from you. Don't say nothing to me. Don't talk to me. Don't look at me. Don't breathe me. Don't sniff me. Don't come my way. But I have to speak to myself and say, are you a child of the Most High Yah? Or are you still on a plantation? I ain't a slave no more. So be quiet, oh my soul. And then I say, now I can reason. Now I can stop reacting the way that my flesh wants to react. Daughters and sons of Zion, we have a lot of trauma, but we don't have to be our trauma. We've gone through a lot of abuse, generational, so much so that it becomes part of our character. You ever had a kid and you raised your kid and your kid does the exact same thing that you used to do when you was a kid? And you're just like, where did you learn this from? Where did you learn this from? I used to do that when I was a kid. And your mom is saying, girl, that child is a mirror of you. That's what she used to do. That's what you used to do when you was a kid. The same way that our kids do things that we used to do when we were kids is the same way we are holding on to trauma that our ancestors held on to for generations, for more than 400 years. For more than 400 years, we've been hated by all the nations of the earth. We've been oppressed. We've been treated harshly. So now, because of this oppression that now has been something that's been carried on to our bloodline, because attitudes is part of your blood. And that's why we need a purging. That's why we need a cleansing. That's why we need a renewing of the mind. A renewing of the mind. And the mind is not in your brain. The mind is your heart. The mind is your kidneys. The mind is your organs that the Most High Yah has put in you. That is manifesting attitudes, attributes. Right? So we have to undo, unlearn, become undone, and say, I ain't a slave no more. I have been overcome by the overcomer. I resign and relinquish my power, my authority of being massa over myself. And what does massa mean? Of being a burden over myself. Don't be a burden to yourself. Don't be a burden to who you are. We ain't slaves no more. We are free. So walk in that. Love your neighbor as yourself. You can have a happy marriage. You can have a beautiful relationship. And we can have beautiful friendships. But each individual needs to make sure that they will resign being massa. And when they get with somebody else who also resigned being massa, we can be one and we can walk in one accord. And we don't have to walk in depression. Because our depression doesn't conquer us more than Yah's joy does. Our anxiety doesn't conquer us more than Yah's confidence does. Our failures does not conquer us more than Yah's victories does. Because we are free. And whom the Son has set free, he is free indeed. He is free indeed. So walk in that victory. Walk in it. It's possible. Burn up those plantations. Burn up those offenses. Burn up the irrationality, because we are irrational in our reactions and we think we are rational. We're not sometimes. And even when we are, we let it get to an irrational level. It's not that serious. Like, it really isn't sometimes. Like, things become so serious for us and it's so dumb. And I'm so sorry to speak so plain. Like, literally, when you think about certain things, it's just really dumb. We get mad about dumb stuff and we burn cities over it. We burn cities, we burn bridges, we burn relationships. We end relationships that could grow into something beautiful over petty things. We become cowardice. We don't talk straight. But instead, we let something small mellow and become something big. So big that we get angry and angry and angry and angry and angry and angry. And then you become a whole atomic bomb, and Orange Man Rump want to come and use you to bomb up Japan because you so toxic. He don't even need a bomb. He just got to use one of us. Because one of us can destroy a whole people. Really, we can. But one of us can build a nation too. We just got to get off the plantation. We just got to get off that plantation and overcome your depression, overcome your anxiety, overcome your fears, overcome laziness, overcome the inability to forge nice, healthy, beautiful relationships, overcome the fear of healthy authority and order, because some of us don't like that. Overcome the fear of being rightly governed. This is the training ground. Choose who you're going to make your master. You, your feelings, your emotions, or is it the Most High Yah? Reason. So before I end, I just want to give a tip. I said, speak to yourself. Speak to yourself. I've been trying my best to bring up stories of women in the scriptures, especially because sometimes the women are the culprits. The women are the culprits. The men have this problem, but not to the exact same level. Theirs is more internal. Ours is internal. We're like spiders. It's internal and it's external. It reaches to everybody and it reaches to ourselves. Like we are on a plantation inside of us and outside of us. You know? We want to act like Spider-Man. My spidey senses are tingling. Like, right? We want to act like Spider-Man. Right? But we aren't spiders. We're doves. When I said reason within yourself, this is an exercise that we got to do. When you feel yourself getting triggered and you feel yourself getting upset, just go away and pray. If there's no place for you to pray, let this be your reflex. Whenever you feel something coming in you, like you're being triggered, or you feel like you're about to get angry, or you're about to get annoyed, or you feel like you're about to implode or explode, or you feel like, you got to say something, otherwise you won't be able to be free. Say, Yahuah rebuke you, Satan. Yahuah rebuke you, anger. Yahuah rebuke you, anxiety. Just say Yahuah rebuke you. As soon as you feel it, as soon as you sense it, Yahuah rebuke you. And then when you get a chance, go somewhere and pray. Don't fall for it. Because as long as you are master over yourself, believe me when I say Abba Yah is not master over you. Because why? We can't have two masters. We can't. You want to overcome? Say Yahuah rebuke you. Anger. Yahuah rebuke you. You divisive woman. You tongue of anger. You thoughts of division. You thoughts of strife. Yahuah rebuke you. You sentiments of offense. You feelings of embarrassment. Yahuah rebuke you. And then when you get a chance, go and pray, Abba, give me your peace. And before the person walks up on you, walk up on them. Walk up on them. Some of us, when we get angry, we don't want nobody touching us. So speak to your Ruach and say, girl, I'm feeling some type of way right now, but I'm going to get up and I'm going to give you a hug, because if I don't give you a hug right now, the enemy is going to consume me and I'm going to be mad at you tomorrow. And then your friend who is walking in righteousness is like, come on, girl, give me that hug, because I'm feeling some type of way too. And if you don't give me that hug, then I'm going to feel some type of way against you too. So let's give me that hug right now and we'll talk about it tomorrow when we're calm. Okay, we did that. You overcame. By what? Your love and your fear of the Most High Yah. We ain't on a plantation no more. We're not on a plantation no more. You got a problem with your husband getting on your last nerves? I'm never doing anything for him ever again. He could eat cardboard for all I care. Go make him a good plate. Do that. Do it quickly. And then say, I'm upset right now, but you know what? I'm gonna fix this plate for you, because I don't want to go back on a plantation. You know? You just seen your friend say something to you, you're on a call with her, and you hang up the phone and you feel some type of way, you just hung up the phone and said, wait a minute, did she talk to me that way? Let me call her back. Girl, I'm about to get angry, I'm about to get mad, but you know what? I need to call you back right now, because if I don't, then I'm gonna feel some type of way. I said, what's going on, girl? Well, you know, what you just said, the way you said it, I didn't like it. Girl, okay, sorry about that. Okay, good. Phew. Because if I didn't call you back right now in 2.2 seconds, it would have been a problem by tomorrow. Okay, squash it, quick. Quickly, be quick. Be quick for peace. Be slow for conflict. You can do it. Because we not slaves no more. I'm tired of the masses on the outside. I don't want no masses on the inside. We just want Yah. We just want Yah. And when you're the one who's being done the wrong, Abba, let there be no reviling on my lips. Let there be no vengeance in my eyes. But give me love for you, Abba, and give me love for you by loving even those who have wronged me in this moment. I'm talking about specifically brothers and sisters. Because if there's no love in Yasharal, then anybody can put us and keep us on a plantation. And there's lots of those around. But that's what I wanted to share with you all today. I hope that it doesn't go in one ear and out the other, because sometimes we do that out of mind, out of sight, or out of sight, out of mind. We don't hear it no more, then we go back to it. But train ourselves to be a people who hear and who stick to the lessons that we hear. Moray did a really good lesson today. A really good lesson today. This Malaka did a really good lesson last week about friendships. We need one another. And we need the Most High Yah to deliver us. And He will. Just make sure you're ready to get off those plantations, even the ones that you create. If you have a problem with somebody, call them today and just let them know, even if it's something small, even if it's something you just thought of, whatever it is, any offense, just call them. If you feel any type of way, sis, you didn't do anything to me, but I felt a little jealousy the other day when I heard you saying this. You know what? I'm just telling you that because I need to make sure that I shame the devil. And if your sister loves Yah, if your brother loves Yah, they're gonna say, girl, don't worry, I get those intrusive thoughts too. And you shame the devil. You know? We ain't slaves no more. We've been delivered. All praises to the Most High Yah. Thank you, Moray Rick, for coming and joining me today. It's an honor to have you. And Sis Malaka and Yaz Michelle and Brother Yaakov and everybody. Thank you so much. Abba Yah be esteemed. And yes, and if you need a family, for anybody who's watching, Sis Malaka can put it in the chat and whoever else. You got a wonderful place to be united with a whole bunch of people who love Yah Yasharal. You can join. I can't do it as good as Sis Malaka. Connect and spirit and truth at gmail.com. All praises to the Most High Yah. Abba Yah be esteemed. Thank you all for watching and have a wonderful, wonderful night.
Are you listening to the voice of the Most High? Are you doing His will? Are you keeping His laws and commandments? Get your life right beside. Walking right. Do you got diamond aura sitting on the table, shining bright? What you doing? Are you righteous? Are you ready to make it to the finish line? Yasharel's time to wake up now. Put that armor on and walk it out. Righteousness is what we need. Keep His laws and commands and you'll be free. Stop laying your life down for what is wrong. Stand up and fight for His righteous cause. Yeah, you need to be that lampstand on a hill. Are you yearning to be the apple of His eye and His planted tree? And I know that you're waiting for His promises, and you're gonna see what no eye see. Oh, keep His laws and commandments. Love Yahuah with all of your heart and your mind and your strength, and your neighbor as yourself. As for me and my house, I'm gonna make it to the finish line. Gonna see your face, gonna get that crown.